It's time for the Northwoods Cooking Show. Starring Uncle Roy and Miss Callie, the troublemaking dog.
Hello and welcome to the Northwoods Cooking Show. I'm your host, Uncle Roy, and it's pie day at the Northwoods. We're going to be making pies today. First, we're going to be making a key lime pie, and then we're going to be making a strawberry mile high pie. Oh God, strawberry mile high pie. I remember my mom used to make it all the time when we were little kids. Come around June when strawberry season comes in. Oh, we used to make it all the time. Just wonderful, wonderful, delicious, sinfully delicious dessert. And the key lime pie I'm making today because at work a client wants to order one, and so I didn't have time at work to do it because I'm on other stations. So I'm making it at home today, and I thought, well, let's film it and show you how I do it, and then I can just bring it in tomorrow when I go to work because I don't need to frost whipping cream on top. I'm not going to put that on until tomorrow when I get there, and then it'll be nice and fresh. But I'll show you how we make the key lime pie, and that's what we're going to be making first. And to start out, we need 4 egg yolks. So just separate your eggs and save the whites. That was just the wrong direction. One with this way. White in there, egg yolk in here. I always go backwards. Okay, so now we have our 4 yolks. And we're going to take and whisk this along with 4 teaspoons of lime zest. Now I just took the limes and zest them, and that's just, I'll get my grater here, it's falling apart, getting old. Well, but it still works. But you got the smaller holes on your grater, and that's for zesting. And we need 4 teaspoons of lime zest. Mix that in with the yolks. And then we just take and whisk this together for about 2 minutes until the mixture becomes like a light green. You're going to see how this is? And then we're going to put in 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. This is going to be sinfully delicious. I'm glad I'm not in this one. I have to shoot up a lot of insulin to be eating this. But it's delicious, absolutely delicious for a summer day. For a summer dessert. You want, light pies. This is going to be a chilled cream pie. So now we just mix this in until this is smooth. But it's all done by hand. Then we're going to put in the 1/2 cup of lime juice. Now I was tempted to buy the lime juice myself, like I said, but I didn't. I squeezed it out. But boy, was that ever hard. Those limes were just, the membrane was just so hard to squeeze and barely got juice out of it. Took my whole package of limes just to make a 1/2 cup of juice. But you got a 1/2 cup of juice. Now we just mix this up until it's smooth and frothy. Now we're going to let this sit. It's getting thicker. We want to let this sit and coagulate and get thick for about 30 minutes. So I just set that aside, and it's the lime juice that's going to make it thick. And we're going to be doing like a graham cracker crust, which you all know how to do, I assume. But if you don't, I'm showing you anyway. And let's see, I don't need a shredder. It's got the blade, and for this one, generally speaking, you want about We need 9 graham crackers. And we'll just pulse this up a little bit. And we don't have to have them completely ground up yet because I'm going to mix in, I have a half stick of butter. Along with 5 tablespoons of sugar. So we can just put that all in together. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll just blend this together. Now I can just stick this on high. There we go. And then let's get my rectangular pan here. Pour out the crumbs. So this is going to just cover the bottom of the pan. That might go up the sides a titch, but not much. Not like a springform pan. We're not making cheesecake, so we don't need a high up the wall type of crust. We just basically need the bottom. So we can just spread this out evenly. And then we just take and press this in. There we go. And we have our crust. So then we have the crumbs, the pie crust crumbs, in the bottom of our pan. And now I just spread the filling on top. And we don't bake the crust, we don't pre-bake the crust. Just put that in raw. And now we're gonna put this in the 325-degree oven until it doesn't jiggle anymore. Approximately 15 minutes. We'll check it in about 10. And then this is our lovely key lime pie. It don't jiggle. Now just let this cool for about an hour. And then we'll put that in the refrigerator until it's completely cool for another hour to 4 hours, you know, depending upon how much chilled you want. I'd go at least 4 hours or just overnight, either or. And then just make up whipped cream and cover the entire thing. You may want to do a little type of decoration, or the back of a spoon works really good too to make up little whip peaks on there. Just touch the back of a spoon to the top of the whipping cream and then pull it, jerk up real quickly. And that'll take and give you a little peak, so then you can have like a little peak effect on your whipped cream. So we hope you enjoy that. Okay, now for the Mile High strawberry pie, we're going to be needing another graham cracker crust. There we go. Okay, so that's 1 packet of graham crackers. And I'll pour that into my bowl here. And this crust I'm making just slightly different, no big deal. And along with this, we're going to have 3 tablespoons of sugar. This one's a little less sweet. So I'm doing this by hand rather than mixing it in the food processor so that it gets more evenly distributed. And I'll just mix up the sugar with the graham crackers. And to this we adding I got 5 tablespoons of melted butter this time. So it's a little less butter and a little less sugar. And that's because I'm going to do this in a pie shell now rather than a rectangle pie. So I don't need all that heavier amounts. I'm just going to do it a little lighter because this is going to press in evenly in a small pan rather than an expansive one. So just pour that right into our pan. Using the bottom of your measuring cup, we'll just take and press this into our pie pan. And when you press down, press it in against the pie pan edge. Use your finger as a guide, just keep it on the edge of the pie pan so that holds the crumbs in from spilling over. And then just press your cup up against the pie pan. No, this one doesn't get baked. This one stays just like that. See? Okay, now we have the crust on. Now we can go on to make the filling. And I mashed up the berries. So I have a cup and a quarter of smashed berries. And it's really easy to mash them up with the potato masher. That leaves you with chunks and juice. Now, like I said, you can use the frozen packet if you want to. It has that in there. See, I just don't want all the preservatives in that. This makes it, I try to cut back on preserves now, because you're going to find it no matter what you have. Can't get rid of it completely, but this makes it a little bit more natural. You have control of what's going in there, put it that way. So now we'll start with the filling. And for this, we need 2 egg whites. And these are the saved egg whites that I had left over from the pie. And that's going to be approximately 2 tablespoons. Well, no, let's make it 3. 1/2, that was 4. About 3 tablespoons for 2 egg whites. And then we'll just whip this up. All right, then this is nice and thick. Nice stiff egg whites. And then we have the strawberries, which is 1 1/4 cup. And we'll pour those in along with a tablespoon of lemon juice. And a dash of salt. And 3/4 cup of sugar. We have 3/4 cup and a half, 3/4, 3/4. And a dash of salt. That'll be a pinch of salt there. Then we just take and mix this in together, fold these in together. Now you don't want to use the mixer because you don't want to deflate the egg whites. So just fold this in together, mixing by hand. Okay. Now we'll switch bowls and make the whipping cream. Okay, so now we're going to make the whipping cream. I switch bowls. Now when I put this bowl in, I rinse it out in cold water so that it stays cold as possible. You could just take and put it in your refrigerator if you wanted to even chill it more. But by having a chilled bowl, it's going to make your whipping cream whip up easier, fluffier. It's not going to deflate as much as if you had a warm bowl. So if you want to wash it out, go ahead, but then rinse in hot water, whatever. Then rinse in cold water so you have a nice cold bowl. And then we'll whip this up. Okay, now we have our whipped cream. Now notice I didn't put any sugar in that whipped cream because we already have sugar in the strawberry mixture. So we don't need all that excess of sugar, which would be good for me. We're going to be eating this. So now we'll just take and put in the two together. And be careful so you don't over whip this whipped cream because there's no sugar in it. You can have butter. We don't want butter. So now just gently fold these together. You can see here, we got a nice frothy mixture going on here. Just mix these together until you get most of the whites out of the streaks of whipping cream. Then we take our pie and start to make it a mile high. And we got more than a mile. That's what makes it a mile high. That high, I don't want to get too high, it's going to get mooshed out. And now we take our strawberry pie and this goes into the freezer. And just keep it in there until it's frozen, you know, for like 4 hours or so, or overnight. And this will be our strawberry mile high pie. Hope you enjoy. Well, before we close, I got time to make another one. And this one is going to be a rimless fruit tart. What's that? That means a tart with no rim. What it is we're going to be making a pie dough. And this is my regular pie dough that I always make. And after you roll it out, then we'll take and put the fruit in the middle of the circle of dough. And then you just pleat and fold it over. And so that you don't have, it doesn't go into a pie tin. And then you just sprinkle a little water and sugar on the top like that, and you just bake it, boom, it's like that. So let's start off with our pie crust then. So it's 2 cups of flour. And I love this pie crust, it's just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Let's see, a teaspoon of salt, and we take and pulse this for a couple seconds just to get that salt and flour mixed up. Now to this we add 1/3 cup of cold butter. Remember, it has to be cold, ice cold, so it's nice and firm. And we'll just take and cut this into pieces. A 1/4 cup of shortening, and put your shortening in the refrigerator too because you want this ice cold. And just cut this into little pieces too. This gives it the flakiness in your pie crust, the butter and shortening mixture. So you want about 4 to 6 tablespoons of ice cold water. And if your water isn't really cold, just throw it in some ice cubes. Chill it out. You want to have really cold water. 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons. If I need more, I can just add a little bit. Okay, now I put this on. And you want to mix this up until this is crumbly like a coarse cornmeal. So do a little pulp. There we go. And then add the cold water. And when it starts to form a ball, you stop. Oh, there it goes. Stop. See, that took a little bit more than 6 tablespoons of water. And all varies, because sometimes it'll do it in 4, sometimes it'll do it in 6. Depends on the humidity around in your house too. That helps, aids a lot. Summertime, you might need a little bit more water. Wintertime, a little less. But anyway, but as soon as that starts to form the ball, that's when you stop. And over mixing will make your dough tough and leathery. And then we just take this out. And the less that you handle it, the better. Because if you overmix it, the heat from the machine will take and melt your butter and shortening, so we don't want that to happen. We want to keep it cold. So now we're going to chill this in the freezer for about 15 minutes. And while that's setting up, we can start on our fruit. Now, what kind of fruit can you use? Basically, anything you want. You know, but this is the summery, spring and summer. So, what you want, you can do peaches or apricots, nectarines. They all work good. And you can use blackberries or raspberries. What you want to have is the peelable, eatable fruit, handheld, the peaches, nectarines, plums. These here, you want to take and cut in half and pit them. And then we'll cut these into 1/2-inch wedges. Okay, and then, see, I just cut my plums into like 1/2-inch wedges. And then we put in a cup of fresh berries. Now this is blackberries, raspberries, blueberries. I got plums. I got the black plums and blackberries. Having a blackberry pie. Oh, recyclables, plastic. Mm-hmm. And then this gets covered with about 3 or 4 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm not gonna put that sugar on until I have my pie crust rolled out, because as soon as you put the sugar in with the fruit, it's gonna start, what's the word, masticating? Masticating, I think that's the word. It's where the sugar activates the juices in the fruit and they start to drain out of the fruit. So then when time I come around to put my pie crust down and roll out, put the berries on top, I have all those juices just pouring everywhere, so it's gonna be a big mess. I can see that coming. And with my luck today, I'm not about to try it. I've just been having bad luck all day. Oh, Lordy. One of those days. And I hate them because I have too many of them. Alrighty. So, we're going to sprinkle a little flour on our countertop. And get a little bit on our rolling pin here. Now, if you want to, let's see, you could use, like, say, the ring from a springform pan that's, 11 inches across, or 9 inches, 10 inches, whatever, and just plop it right on top of your crust and cut around. You get a perfect circle. So I'm gonna need half of this because this is a 2-crust dough recipe. And I'll just wrap this up. And I can actually just keep this in the freezer. It'll stay for like 6 months. I can just put that back into a Ziploc freezer bag too. But now we want to roll this out into approximately a 10-inch circle. I'll just do an extra, let's see, I'm gonna go about an extra inch around. So I'm just using my plate as a guide. It's not the cookie cut, it's the exact size. But if I cut around, I'm just extending this out from around the edge here. So I'm about an inch out wider than the pie pan or plate. And put our parchment paper on top of that. And then we can put our pie crust on top of that. Roll this back a little bit more. And just unroll it to the sheet. I can take and put my sugar into my fruit. So you want like 4 to 6 tablespoons, so just under a 1/3 cup. Toss our fresh fruit and sugar together here now. And then we'll just pile this up in the center. Then fold up, and then just fold over 1/2 inch pleats. Bring that up. And you want to make these approximately 2 to 3 inches in between. Let me get a close up here. So that I'm going like about 2 fingers length. And then just folding it back about 1/2 inch. Get another fold length there and fold back over. So you can see how we're doing this. And this way it's a free-form fruit pie or fruit tart. And this is the free-form because this is going to be this crust, this is going to be your pie shell, your rim, that holds everything together. So it's gonna get about 2 fingers wide and then fold back 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch or so. And that's gonna come down now when it bakes too. Okay, then we'll take and I'm gonna brush this now with a little water and then sprinkle a little sugar now on that. Now this goes into a 375-degree oven for approximately about an hour until it's light golden brown. And then we'll take this out of the oven and let it cool for about an hour or so before cutting into it. After about 10 minutes, you can take and slide a whole paper right onto a cooling rack to cool better. And let that cool completely for about an hour. You do want to serve this warm. So just, you don't want to take and eat it right away because it's going to be bubbly hot. Those juices are going to just burn the roof of your mouth. So you want to let that cool for at least an hour. And so we'll put this in the oven and be right back. Okay, now this is our form-free fruit pie. And when it came out of the oven as it was cooling, it was still warm, I took and did a little glaze on top. I just mixed up a little bit, like about a tablespoon of apricot jam and a little bit of hot water just to make a nice glaze. And then just dab that on the top here so we get it nice and shiny. Now let me get a close-up of this for you. And you can see what a lovely tart this makes. You got your seasonal summery fruit. We got plums and blackberries in there with a little apricot glaze. And here we are with sliced into the pie, the tart, with the ice cream on top there. Makes a lovely presentation and really good. Can't wait to dig in. So I hope you enjoyed the pies that we made today, all different kinds and different shapes and sizes and textures. So from the Northwoods Cooking Show, I like to say, eat healthy, be safe, and spread the sunshine. Bye-bye.